Hi Stampers, this is Kim with Great Inspirations. I'm so glad you're here today because I have a fun new bundle from Stampin' Up to share with you, as well as 3 fun fold cards. So let's take a look at the bundle. The bundle is called Rhino Ready, and it includes this really cute stamp set with 3 rhinos, a couple of little birds, a little party horn, or I call it a noisemaker, some grass, and of course some sentiments. You're built tough. You're stronger than you think. It's a great day. Hello, friend. Hope your birthday is wild. And there are coordinating dies. The dies, there is a die for each of the images in the stamp set. And there are also other dies so you can build a background or some scenery for your rhinos. There are a couple of leaves and then a stalk of greenery with leaves, 2 tree trunks, and these dies cut out the foliage for the trees. These dies could also cut out foliage for the trees, or you can use them for ground or, just background grasses. Here's the grass that we talked about here. And then, of course, the 3 hippos. And then there are 2 dies that cut out this bird. And then there is a die for this image. And then I forgot to mention there's also a party hat die. So I made some cards using these dies. And the first one we're going to look at is this one. And this is called an inner panel Z-fold card, or an inner Z-fold. That's what I call it. I don't know if there's another name for it. But the reason I call it that is because if you take a peek here, you can open the card up, and inside there's a Z-fold. So you have the window here with your image. You open it. There you go. Hope your birthday is wild. And we have another little rhino down here. So let's walk through making this particular card. Put the stamp set and the dies away. Now, the first thing you're going to need for this card is a card base. And as you can see, this card base for mine, for this card, is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, and then folded. However, the one we will make today, the card base, is going to be like a side fold as opposed to the top fold. So it will be, as you can see, I've got all kinds of stuff in here, but it's going to be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Now, the reason all this is on here is because we need to die cut this window. And my die cut machine, it was just going to be too much on my table. So I have die cut this, but I wanted you to see before I remove it. I have taken the Designer Series paper, which is 5 1/4 by 4, and adhered it to this card base. But I only put adhesive here, here, up this side, and along the top. Because when we put it in the die cut machine, we do it like this, run it through with our circle die here, and then when we remove the circle die, we will have this and this. Now this we're going to put away for another use on another project, but this we're going to use to mount, or as a background for our rhino. So let me get some adhesive, and we will do that right now. And this is the Stampin' Seal Plus. It's really strong adhesive, so nothing's going to fall off of there. As you can see on this rhino, I just dressed her up a little bit. I thought, oh, let's make a card for the girls. This one gonna be for the guys, this one gonna be for the girls. So here we have our rhino. Now we need our inside piece. Now the inside piece, I've already done some stamping in it, but it is 8 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to score it at 4 and 6. So when you score it at 4, then you can fold it. This is the easiest, in my opinion, the easiest way to do it. Take your bone folder, do all of your stamping that you're going to do over on this side, and then this will go in our card, but it will be like a backwards card, okay? Instead of opening this way, it will open towards the right. So the side that we've stamped on is the side we want to put some adhesive on. So just put some here. Like I said, this is pretty strong. You don't need tons. And this seems so weird to be doing this, but this is how it works. There you go. And then our 6-inch score line, fold it back, and you're going to want your bone folder. Get nice and crisp crease there. Okay. Now, we need to put our rhino in here. So what we need to remember to do is put adhesive only on this side. So flip it over. Be very careful where we put it. Close our card. Put this right into place. And there we go. We've got some fuzz from our cuts there. Okay, now I have a frame around this window, and we will do that. I will show you how I did it. It's right here. And you do need 3 dies for this project, 3 circle dies, or you can use squares if you want. I used one that fit pretty closely around the hippo. And then the next one, actually, I don't know if it's the next size up in the layering circle dies, but it's a little larger. See, there's some space. Let me do this. There's some space between these two. So anyway, this one, which I'm calling the middle die, or no, small, medium, and large, let's call them. The large die, or the medium die, is the one you put here to cut out your window. And then that's how you get your mat for your hippo. So then you take this medium die again, along with the larger die. Now these really don't fit in here together well. I have run them through my die cut machine before and gotten a frame. But if I show you really close, I don't know if you can see it, but it's left little marks on my die. I didn't like that. I thought it may be damaging it more than I would care for. So here's what we do. You put your large die on your cardstock, run it through, and then you will get your circle. And then when you have that circle, you center your medium die on it and run it back through your die cut machine, and you will get the frame. And let's put that on there right now. I have some liquid glue, and hopefully today it works. Last time I got it out, it didn't work on camera. And I'm just going to put a little bit here and there. Another thing you can do, you could use an adhesive sheet on this. You can use the fine tip glue. But I think this liquid glue will be fine. I'm just going to line it up. There we go. Now, to finish this off, let me see, get that out of the way. We're going to need our sentiment for the front, which I chose, It's a Great Day. Like I said, that is from the Rhino Ready stamp set. So I have that stamped right here. And I cut this out with the, got to think of the name of these dies. Something Fancy. The Something Fancy dies. They're in the MIDI catalog. So we're going to peel off the backings here. I'm going to hold this down. There we go. And now to finish it off, let's put a few of these little matte dots on here. And these are the 2022 to 2024 in color matte decorative dots. And this is the Orchid Oasis paper. This is actually Granny Apple Green, but I used the Parakeet Party ones because these, they come in varying shades, sort of like ombre shades of the in colors. So let's use the lighter ones, I think. Put one up here. Here. See, how did I put one here, didn't I? There's one. Get a larger one. Oops. Oh, I think this one. I think it's adhesive. Oh, yeah. It's adhesive. It's not on there. Yeah, we'll just use this one. Well, that one popped right off too. Wonder if I can get it back on. I need my take your pick tool. But we'll see how this goes. Oh, there we go. That worked. So there we go. That is how I made my inner Z-fold card with the Rhino Ready Bundle. Now the next card is right here. Hope your birthday is wild. You see we have the little rhino running along in the grass with the bird on his back. And then inside, we have the rhino with his party hat and the birdie. Up here we have two of the trees. So this card, I call, what do I call it? Let me think a little bit. Partial front panel card. That's what I call it because part of the panel for the front has been cut away, and that's very easy to do. And I'm going to walk you through doing that. That's why I did have room for my paper trimmer. We'll see if you can be able to see. Because this card, once you get the card base, all you need to do is put on your cardstock mats and your designer series papers, and you're good to go. And on my blog post, I have a corresponding blog post for this video, and I have all the cutting measurements and all the supplies I use for these cards. I also this time put a few assembly instructions for each of the cards since there were 3 of them. So this card base, for this one we don't have a choice. It needs to be 11 by 4 1/4 and score it at 5 1/2. And here I have one. It's 11 by 4 1/4. I have scored it at 5 1/2. This is Sahara Sand. And what we're going to do, we're going to slip it over to 1 1/2 inches in our trimmer. And we're going to cut to 5 1/2. We're going to cut to the score line. There we go. And we're going to just turn it so that this little short area here where we just cut, put it in, slide it over to 5.5. Pull this down a little bit more, I think, so you can see better. And then we're going to just cut to, I think it's 3, because you're going to go 1.5 inches, but you'll be able to see when you get there. Yep, I didn't quite make it. There we go. So then you just simply fold this. There you go. There is your card base, your partial front panel card base. And that's for this card. Now I have one more card to show you. Set these over here. And this is a slide lock gatefold card. It's a basic gatefold card with this little mechanism that slides off and on to lock the gatefold. Oh, I had it upside down. Surprise! So we have our little image here, and then you can slide it off, you open it up. It's a great day. Hope your birthday is wild. Of course, here's our little cute rhino with his little party hat and horn. And on the back, here is the mechanism. Basically, it's 4 pieces of cardstock. 2 of them are folded in half to make V's, and then you turn the V's basically into an X. And I have having a hard time seeing here. There we go. And then you can just put it together. You put that mechanism, just adhere it to the back of your focal panel, and there you go. Your gatefold card will stay locked. Now, here is what you need for that mechanism. Now you can vary the size of this mechanism depending on the size of your focal image that you want to serve as the focal image for your lock. This one is a bit smaller because I want to make sure it's well hidden. So you can make it a bit smaller than whatever your focal image is. You just don't want it to be any larger. So you need 3 pieces of cardstock, and these are cut at 2¼ by 3½. And I scored 2 of them at 2 1/8 inches. Now, if you want to, you can use all the same color cardstock. You can use all white cardstock, whatever you prefer. I prefer for the inside of the mechanism, I prefer to use Stampin' Up's basic white cardstock, the regular, not the thick. And then for the backing, I tend to use the color of cardstock that my card base is. So in this case, it's Coastal Cabana. So that's why I've chosen this. So anyway, let's go on with making our mechanism. Like I said, 2 of these we're going to fold in half long ways. We have scored them at 2 1/8 because that is 1/2 of, not 2 1/8, 1 1/8, yes, because that's 1/2 of 2 1/4. Get my math right there. And then I'm going to go over these a few times with my bone folder. Okay, and we take this piece. Let's see, I've got basically V's. We want to turn them into an X. So we're going to put, and I would use tear and tape or the Stampin' Seal Plus, something strong, because people will be sliding this back and forth. Put it on one side. The open side goes towards the outside and the fold goes in the center. We just line that up. Okay, now, put this here. Got over a little bit, so we'll just fold that back. And line this right up. There we go. Now we're going to put adhesive on this. On here. Try not to put any right in the center because you need it to kind of move. It will move a little. It needs to be able to move just a tad. Line this up. What did I do here? There we go. And there's mechanism. That's how we do this one. And then we're ready to close our card up. So there's that little card. And then here's our partial front card and our inner Z-fold card. Again, like I said, all the supply list, the measurements, and some assembly instructions will be found on my coordinating blog post, and the link to that blog post will be in the description of this video. Now, I did want to point out that this Rhino Ready stamp set and the dies are not available in any catalog. They are what Stampin' Up! Is calling online exclusives. And this is something new, but every few months they'll be releasing online only a collection of products. Like March 1st was when this was released. And there was another stamp set with dies. There were some embossing folders, embellishments, some designer series papers. I believe there were some punches. So you just never know what the online exclusives will include. And they will be available online only. And when you go there, if they are available, they will be there. Now, sometimes it may say not available now or something similar to that. That means it's probably going to be reordered, so just be a little patient. But if you go there and it's not there and there's no reference to it at all, that means it's been discontinued. So how do you get to the online store? Well, the easiest way is to go to that coordinating blog post of mine and hit the Shop With Me button, or you can go on the right-hand side of my blog, and there are catalogs, all of our current catalogs, and just click on one of those catalogs, and that will take you to the online store. And you will see, right at the moment, there are banners that go across the top, and you can just hit on the online exclusives to view them, or just hit on, the little lines over on the left-hand side. You click on them, and then there'll be some little choices drop down, and click on what's new. And that's where you will see these. You will also see all the new kits that have been added to the kits collection, which those are also available only online. And what I do want to tell you is they have the Rhino Ready stamp set and the Rhino Ready dies listed separately. And if you go on through a little bit, you'll find them also as the bundle. When you buy them as a bundle, you save 10%. So that's a little bit about the Rhino Ready Bundle and the online exclusives. And here are these great fun fold cards. And I do thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, stamp happy.